to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good, bad guys of wrestling podcasts are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I'm your host, Brian, and Kevin's here. Joe is not, so Jason, how you feel about that?
Oh, I'm good. It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas. Kevin and I have that same water bottle.
Hey.
No, like I said last week, I thought Joe and I turned a corner in Cleveland. And he just went Joe negative. So, yeah, I think maybe it's best he just takes a week or two off.
Take a week or two off. It's good for the soul. Mm-hmm. And the three of us will guard the fort, steer the ship, whatever other analogy you can think of. We'll take you guys. It might be a little shorter of a show. We don't have to hear all of Joe's expertise, but
yeah, he's a teacher. He's smarter than everybody. We get it. Whatever.
Yeah, school's in session. Yeah. But of course, one other thing that we're pushing on is interaction with our listeners, with the viewers, with the listeners. Please, of course, leave us a comment on our YouTube videos. Leave a review if you're listening to the pod on Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening. We just want to keep building, continue to grow as we move forward again in 2024, not 2014, like I said, 2 weeks ago. Just amazing. That, and what was my other one? I said, we watched Ray and Dom.
No. Huh. You asked a black man if he had straps.
Well, yes, that I did that.
That's the,
too.
Yeah.
That did
chains, I think was what.
Shout out to Whip Dog. He's my man. But no,
Whip Dog, who just got media passes to AEW in Toledo, I believe.
Yeah, I think Collision comes around maybe early October.
October 3rd, because they're here October 2nd for the 5-year anniversary.
That's
so maybe Joe
cool.
can go and fuck up that sign where he's trying to smash me then, like he did at Raw.
Well, judging by these
tickets will be easy to get.
Oh shit! Judging by these AEW crowds, will have many chances to get on camera.
I saw that picture that's going around. I was like, I wonder if the whole upper bowl was like that, or if it was just that one section that they seem to be focusing on. Because look, I'm not trying to shit on people with low attendances and stuff, but like, run ice rinks, minor league arenas. Don't do the big stadiums or arenas, because that's what's going to happen.
TNA did for a long time, did it great, right?
Yeah.
I saw Bound for Glory at the minor league hockey rink. They did Universal style tapings, make the crowd look packed, energetic, not big like a small fish in a very big pond. Because the seats, it's what your eyes go to.
Yeah, it's like a hot dog in a hallway.
Hot dog in a hallway.
Yeah.
I noticed watching Dynamite how many times they were kind of like in between segments, and the camera was just shooting up at the scoreboard with like the graphic. I don't know if you guys caught that. And I thought maybe that was crowd.
I thought maybe that was like a miscut. Like they were switching cameras. So the cameraman was getting set up. Maybe they went to him too early. That's what I thought that was. But, maybe not.
Yeah.
But Joe, go to Toledo. Have a sign to promote this podcast. I mean, granted, I thought you'd be gone early and you weren't. You're still here in the grand sense.
You proved you wrong.
Yeah.
But,
so,
that would be good.
Do a podcast sign, not a try to slam me sign.
And shout out to Whip Dog. Yeah. That would be cool. Speaking of television wrestling programs, the big news that came out on Monday Night Raw is that I think at the beginning of October through the end of the year, they're going to be 2 hours, 2 hours of Raw. It's been 3 for, I think, well over a decade.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's probably
15, 20 years probably.
Maybe. Yeah. It's been a minute. And I know for a long time, especially 3-4 years ago when Monday Night Raw was up and down and things didn't always jive and make sense, that fans were like, oh, if you could just bring it down to 2 hours and cut out this garbage stuff, it's going to be a good show. So I think a lot of people rejoiced, but here we are in 2024 and Monday Night Raw has been a hell of a watch for, I don't know, the last year plus.
Because of us.
What was your we did push for it with our t-shirts. But Jay, what's your reaction to this? Because like I said, a couple of years ago, maybe things would be differently in some opinions.
It's cool, but you know what I want? 1 hour Raw.
Oh,
1 hour wrestling.
You want the version of Sunday Night Heat on Raw.
1 hour wrestling shows are the best. I will enjoy Rampage from time to time. A 1 hour wrestling show is the way to go. It's not going to happen, but I get it. The big thing, though, is Raw is going to 2 hours. And then I read maybe SmackDown's going to 3 since it's going to USA.
I had seen some rumors that maybe the debut on USA tonight, Friday night, would be 3, but I don't. I haven't seen that become official. I guess it could just
nothing official, but I mean,
keep going.
Because if USA was paying for 3 hours of wrestling, 3 hours of content, they're going to lose Raw to Netflix in January, and then maybe SmackDown takes that spot of 3 hours.
Yeah.
But doing 3 hours on Friday is going to be tough. Not going to lie. I mean, very rarely do I watch SmackDown live, but it's to do it a 3 hour on Friday night. Move it to Wednesday. We don't need 911
Wednesday night SmackDown
or Brooklyn Nine-Nine or Family Guy or Futurama or Simpsons or we don't need that. We can get rid of that.
What about Bob's Burgers? Come on, we don't.
I couldn't think of that one. And the American Dad. Yeah, we don't need Animatronic Mania or whatever they call their Sunday night programming. But I don't know. I mean, Friday night's tough, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, I remember when Rampage was kind of a new show, and it wasn't too long into it that I'd watch SmackDown and be like, I think I'm ready to be done with wrestling on a Friday night, and I wouldn't change it. And this is when Rampage was live half the time, it seems.
Yeah,
so,
it's just...
who knows? But Kev, your reaction: 2 hours of Raw for a couple of months.
2 hours Raw, so we take 3 hours with commercials. Take the commercials out. That's 15, 20 minutes an hour, right? The 2 hours is commercial
22 minutes.
That's
22 minutes an hour.
There you go. That's 2 hours, basically. 2 hours, no commercials. Sitting butt in chair, not wanting to get up to miss anything, I'm good with it.
Well, I don't think it's no commercials though.
Why would there be commercials on Netflix?
We're not talking about Netflix.
This is on USA.
This is going to be USA.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah. Yes. We can get
2 hours on USA. They have a little bit of time to tinker with it, right? To figure out a formula. Unfortunately, I feel that non-world title women's is going to take a hit. I really feel like that. But when it goes to Netflix, I feel that's where they're going to try to figure something out, because you're not going to have stall points in matches. You're not going to have, the rest holds of if Randy was on there, right? And I'm saying that sarcastically, but those type of things where you have a little bit of a break. I welcome it, because there's some points where on a Monday night, not going against Monday Night Football, nothing against that, it gets to the 10:30 point where I'm falling asleep on the chair. I'm okay, do I stay up for the main event, or do I watch the main event the next day and see the recap the next morning? There's been times where I'm 10:45-ish. I'm I got to go to bed.
Yay.
And if it is on that 10 and USA for a couple months, finishing around that 10 p.m. mark, maybe I will watch a little Monday Night Football, but it gets me in bed and I'm not going to fall asleep on the chair.
Don't lie. You're going to watch The Anonymous.
Yeah. But I believe me, I have all faith in Triple H to figure it all out. But 2 hours, get 2 hours of quality content. I'm all in.
Get in, hit it, and quit it, and get out of there.
Talking about Shannon Sharp or what?
Well, that's LA Knight's new catchphrase.
Is it?
Hit it and quit it. That Shannon Sharp thing. Have you guys know? You guys know about this, right?
I know.
He didn't get hacked. It's him.
Unreal that he did not get fired.
Yeah.
For broadcasting having sex on Instagram.
Innocent mistake.
Bullshit.
He don't know how to go to IG Live, he said. I don't know. I believe him.
Not the sharpest tack in the on the payroll.
Just so dumb. And apparently R-Truth went comment crazy. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. He's like, "What you doing, Unk?" wait, what are they doing? This ain't PG, Unk. I think is one of the things he said.
I don't mess with Shannon Sharpe. I don't find him entertaining at all. I find him like, I'm better than you and I will talk about it. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not a fan of Shannon Sharpe. Like the fact that he's now on with Stephen A. and the Mad Dog. No, thanks.
I don't see enough of him. I never really watched when he was on with Skip on FS1. I'm just kind of like allergic to those type of shows. So I guess he's entertaining, but yeah, it's just
not to me.
That whole genre is not my thing. Stephen A is kind of the one that
I'm done with Stephen A as well.
It needs to be the right like topic, like let's say like Dak Prescott threw 5 interceptions. Like, all right, I need to watch the first 90 seconds of this to see what he's going to say. And then it's like, all right, I got it. That's all I need.
And Stephen A trying to cover MMA is terrible because everything goes back to Conor McGregor. There's always he could be talking to Merab Dvalishvili and it's going to be a Conor McGregor comment. He could be talking about fucking anything and it's Conor McGregor always comes up in a Stephen A interview.
I saw one clip of him. They had one of their NHL experts on First Take. It's like, and it was probably Stanley Cup, and the guy was talking about how good Connor McDavid is for Edmonton. And Stephen A is like, is he better than Gretzky?
Is he better than Connor McGretzky?
Connor McGretzky.
Oh my!
Yay!
How about that Raw 2-hour change?
Yeah, no, a little off track, but it's I'm interested. So okay, play Papa H, play Triple H, man. You got an hour to cut. Who's getting the cutting room floor? Who's moving to the main event show?
Who's moving to NXT?
Who's moving to NXT?
Alpha Academy.
Okay.
Good point.
You gotta say the Wyatts, right?
Oh, they need to fucking go away.
I knew you were gonna say
Alpha Academy, as in like Tozawa and Otis,
and the good Maxine. Yeah, they can go back to NXT. Who else? If you got one, Kev, throw one out because I'm just kind of blanking.
I think that trio of like Shayna. I feel like they're gonna get.
I believe they're called the Pure Fusion Collective. Hello.
That sounds like
the PFC.
It sounds like
PFC
a yogurt.
Is gonna go away, or at least in a limited.
Buy one get one free per Pure Fusion Collective at Kroger.
And it kind of stinks because it's like in that same thing. Damage control. Io is going to get reduced, and it sucks because she's so good, and you have to be top of the top woman, I would believe, on that roster. If you're not Liv or Rhea or someone to that caliber, you're not going to get screen time.
I wouldn't be surprised if SmackDown talent also gets downsized a bit to maybe ramp up NXT. Theory and Waller definitely back to NXT.
Mm-hmm.
But NXT's hitting on a lot of cylinders.
Well, you're gonna and they're moving to CW, so they need to stack. That's why CM Punk's going to be on NXT next week, and the first week in Chicago, he's going to be there.
Yep.
And then when they go to St. Louis, Randy Orton's going to be there. They need to ramp up NXT a little more because they're getting on, the CW. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, American Alpha, Damage Control,
yogurt,
regulatory yogurt. They need to go to
protein shake.
I'm sure there's more. I just not prepared for that. So
no, it's all good. Like you said, Kev, kind of inadvertently. But we don't know what Netflix is going to be like. And I think that was the report that came out. Like, they don't know. And maybe some weeks it is 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Maybe there's weeks that it is 3 hours. And it sounds like, I would think they'll probably keep it kind of close. But it sounds like they will at least have the freedom to make it longer, shorter, depending on whatever's going on.
And not to steal from other people's opinions, but listening to Busted Open, it is going to be that open like live sport feel. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
like in Monday Night Football going into overtime. Oh, this
Right.
match is going to go long. Oh, we could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's almost like, yep, there's a time of 8 to 10 with a TBD at the end, which
I
is
hope
which is
not.
exciting.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I think that to have a start and stop time, I like. On Dynamite Wednesday again. Oh, we're gonna stay here as long as no shit, Shivani. We know that. We know you're not tape machine. No more tape machines are rolling. Like,
yeah, it went to like 10:08 or something.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, again, this 2-hour set thing is 3 months, and then it's a whole new world when it comes to Netflix.
Yeah.
Highlight of Monday Night Raw, I legitimate laughed out loud when we found out who Gunther's favorite wrestler of all time was.
Yes.
Kids are asleep. Kids are asleep. It's quiet in the house. And when he dropped Bill Goldberg, I went, ha, 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 ha,
ha. But you have to admit, I thought he was going to say Shawn. Right.
Yes,
I thought Shawn too.
When he said Goldberg, and Bret just looked at him with the blank face, I'm just like, oh man, that was almost a second kick to the head to Bret when Gunther said that. Like, it was perfect though. That entire segment was perfect because you could see Gunther being in the ring with Bret. Like, he looked starstruck. Like, he looked like, you know what I mean? I have to make fun of you. I have to tease you. But he looked like he appreciated him. He looked like, he respected him. But with that Goldberg comment, because I think we all were like chatting, oh, OMG, OMG, OMG. Like, unexpected. Like,
great.
With Gunther talking about Goldberg, there was also a Goldberg mention on NXT. Do you think we're getting Goldberg tonight on SmackDown? His name has not been brought up in a long time.
It is a 3 hours. They got a
series premiere.
Series premiere if you want to get some buzz. And I think that's a better than 50% chance. I'd say I'll
77%. We're getting Goldberg.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was thinking about that when I watched NXT, and I'm like, oh, all right. That's kind of a, Easter egg, kind of thing. But I hope not. But
yeah,
we might.
We'll see. Killer 4-way match for the IC title. It was a great crowd in Calgary.
And none of us got it right last week.
I thought Jay.
We all said no. I don't think you were here yet, but we said.
Oh, okay.
We all said Dragunov was going to win, and we were all wrong.
Yeah.
Damn,
the Yeats were out. Oh, by the way, I didn't put this rundown. What an incredibly classy tribute to that Johnny Gaudreau, the hockey player. I couldn't believe. Tess narrating, Jackie Redmond outside. Yeah. I could not believe, I've never seen that for a non-WWE passing. I was blown away.
I think it was just because they were in Calgary. He had a huge run in Calgary. So it fit. It made sense. Testator week 2, thoughts?
I didn't catch anything that I was like, naughty, like you messed this up. Maybe I wasn't paying much attention, but it seemed totally fine.
Yeah, it seemed fluid. Like I was high on him on week 1, get out the cobwebs, but it seemed, I hate to say normal, right? It just seemed like he belonged there.
I think I tried to get this out last week, but I was drunk. So his voice sounds big to me. And what I mean by that, it just is outside the box of what Raw is. It just sounds big to me. So I've said that to a couple people and they get it and some don't, but look, man, he's great for 2 weeks in, I've been on that high on that guy for years. So I'm just glad that he's back, or he's doing well for a big, very hard job.
Yeah. And he has a professional broadcasting voice. Just
he knows how to speak.
Yeah, like nobody would think like Michael Cole is great as his job, but you don't hear his voice going like, oh, like you got my attention.
Broadcaster.
Like he could be a total voiceover artist, like just doing commercials or animation if he wasn't actually a broadcaster.
He should be the new voice of Darth Vader.
Oh.
Now that James Earl Jones has passed, Disney's just going to keep making shitty Star Wars movies every year.
They could just
use this AI.
No, I was going to say they could just do the same program
Joe
I use for
not AI.
Mel
Joe
Kipper.
Tess. Joe Tess, not AI.
There's options, I suppose. But yeah, hell of a show. One thing too, Jay, take the lead on what is going on with the little back and forth with Kevin Nash and Logan Paul. They're having a little brouhaha, sounds like.
So Nash on his podcast basically just told Logan to go fuck himself because he's making $5 million a year being a part-timer. And he goes, that's not from me. That's from the boys in the back. They just ain't got the nerve to say it. So then Logan responded, was like, people were telling me Kevin Nash is talking shit on me. Who's Kevin Nash?
Oh,
like, wow. All right. And then basically it was go fuck yourself, Kevin Nash. And he was like, I'm better 2 years in than you ever were. Like it was, I mean, it's obviously never going to lead to anything, but I found the enjoyment in it. And I just laugh when I hear about Kevin Nash's podcast, because when I met him and Scott Hall years ago, I said, hey, would you guys ever thinking about doing a podcast? And they were both too cool for school. I'm like, podcasts, fucking dweebs.
Yeah.
Like that's both of them basically what they said. And now like, all right, Nash has a thing. I know I was the only one really into that story this week, but the story I want to talk about, going back to broadcast and shows and stuff, it was reported that AEW has a trademark out for something called Shockwave. The rumors it's going to Fox with WWE leaving Fox. Now, we don't know if this is going to be Fox proper. I think it might be like an FXX or FX.
FS1.
Yeah, well, I would say FXX because that's the
FXX. Okay.
They're a little more edgier there, and they would allow the A stands for attempted murder, EW, shows to happen on their network. Now, we can get into All Out and the attempted murders. The pay-per-view was really good. My match of the night, Willow versus Statlander in that street fight. It was awesome. It was so good. Brian, I know you were in and out most of the night. Kev, I know you didn't watch it.
I didn't watch. I know results.
Okay.
But I
Kev was all out.
Yeah, I was all out for watching it live. Why was Statlander Willow so good?
It was a street fight. It was just,
did they just whoop each other? I did see the splits.
Yeah, splits into the thumbtacks.
Yeah, I read that on 411 came out and I think that was like the key photo.
Willow came out with a new look, and because her and Statlander have been going at it for a while, like it was this I'm gonna fuck you up attitude, and it was just such a good match. So do yourself a favor and go watch that match if you haven't. Mercedes and Sheeta was better than her and Britt for sure. And then we had
Jack and Danielson.
Yeah, we had that, which then led into Swerve and Hangman. The fucking we'll start with Jack Perry and Danielson. I really enjoyed the match. I did not like the attempted murder afterwards. Attempted murder by suffocation with the plastic bag over Danielson's face.
A lot of online discourse about that. Yeah, Mox comes out and, Claudio ends up hitting the uppercut, which Danielson, even though he was on the ground, was looking up at him like, hey, what'd you do that for, man? Like, he didn't look hurt. He was just like, hey,
shocked.
Why'd you just do that? And then, Mox brings out a bag. Yeah, the crowd was chanting, "This is murder." And yeah, and I've seen some people say that along with later on with the main event of Hangman and Swerve, where Hangman brought out a syringe needle and
injected in his mouth. Like, what
put
was
it
it?
in his
What
mouth?
was in it? They
hanging there.
They never said what was in the needle.
Yeah, no. I mean, guess we'll never know.
I mean, that's just poor storytelling right there. They didn't bring it up this week on Dynamite, but
hopefully
I
it was
can't
paralyzed.
I can't get into that shit. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that like these idiots online saying, "Oh, all these sponsors should drop it." And I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. For me, that type of deathmatch type wrestling, the staple guns that they had in that match,
they busted that out too.
The syringe, like, I just don't have time for that. I liked the pay-per-view, did not like the attempted murders.
Kev, where do you kind of fall on that? Because like it's hard for me to kind of find a good point about like, this is my stance on this, because I see this stuff happen and it's a little shocking, maybe a touch uncomfortable, but I'm also the same guy that will enjoy watching GCW from time to time, where it's just light tube after light tube and broken glass and everything. So I hate it. You're supposed to have a strong position of why this is good or this is not good. And I'm just confused.
Yep.
So it seems like I need to go watch those two matches, but I know the syringe spot, and I think there was a cinder block.
Oh my God, the cinder block.
And a few other with Hangman and Swerve. But then with Danielson, with the bag, being after the match and then wanting to take an impact of trying to hurt him to kick him out of Combat Club, right? I think that was a cool move. I do, because they wanted to like hurt him, impact him. The violence of the other one, I do enjoy a GCW event from now and then. Like if it was an entire event of AEW like that, leave that for GCW, right? But like a one here, one there, just feel like AEW does that more often than anyone else. I feel like they want to kind of be edgy, to be like, "Ooh, we'll do this." Like was it the blood spewing down and drinking of it on Dynamite a few months back, like those type of things, like one step above, like, oh, WWE won't go there, we're gonna go there and let's talk about it. Until they do like a full event or something, let it be few and far between, but don't make it like a every event occurrence, otherwise it's going to be stale.
Seven people in the crowd.
Right.
17 people.
Numbers are dwindling, but yeah, I guess I could see it all on both sides. Like people are like, well, people chose to pay for this, and if they build it as unsanctioned, lights out, and that's what this called for. So I get it, but maybe it's just not for you, Jay. And
nope.
Yeah, I'm just kind of on the fence.
And you were Mr. ECW in your 20s, so like,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
But you're not in your 20s anymore.
No, I'm not.
I didn't even do that on purpose. But yeah, so like, for me, no thanks. No thanks.
We'll keep it on the AEW stuff with Dynamite. Some things happened to kind of switch around maybe what was already penciled in stone. Of course, Darby Allin won the what do they call that match? The like Dynamite. It's the double ring battle royal thing that he won, which got him a title shot at the upcoming Grand Slam. Well, we know Mox, when he had his first comeback promo, he's like, Darby Allin, I just want to talk. He finally does get to talk. And he ends up convincing him that Danielson can't fight. You saw what I did to him. So I want the title match, and let's have a number one contender fight. And Darby says, sure. And then you fast forward to probably 15 minutes later, and we get Nigel McGuinness coming out saying, I got a contract for you, Bryan Danielson, at Grand Slam. And
Tony Khan confirms it. Tony, we just hear in my ear, Tony Khan confirms Danielson can't fight Darby at AEW, but he can fight Nigel McGuinness.
If I fight Nigel McGuinness.
Who we can all thank. We can all thank Mariah May for the Nigel revival.
The kiss that brought him back to the career. Amazing. So yeah, I know they've added the caveat of like, if he's considered clear or whatever, but the more I watched that, the more I was just like, huh? But what are your thoughts on that? And you see now we have those two matchups. Are you feeling a type of way about either of them?
I'm not. I am curious to see what Nigel and Danielson bring. I am gonna see if I can find some of those old matches on YouTube. They were classics. I've got some friends that were into a Ring of Honor at that time. I have bought some Ring of Honor DVDs, and if I can go on their website and see if it's there, I may buy because they do. Like I have all 3 of the Samoa Joe CM Punk matches that went an hour. Like they put that all on a compilation DVD. So I imagine that, and if they don't, I'm sure they're going to put one out after this match happens to have all the matches in one spot. But I'm excited to see what it's like if Danielson is cleared. Because if he's not, then what's the point? Like, why even do this?
Kev?
He'll be cleared. I think I've never seen any of those Ring of Honor matches, so I'm not too familiar in them. But if you say they're great, then I'm going to take that word because I know you're a bigger fan of the Ring of Honor, like say past history. I think the Mox Darby match has a lot of emotions in it because I think that one could steal the show between the two, just for the fact where Mox is going to come out swinging because he wants that title shot. Or Darby, I feel like has always been like an emotional guy. Like, hey, I'm going to do these things this way because it's my way. Is he going to just give up the shot? Is Blackpool going to get involved? Like, I think that match is going to have some shenanigans to it, but both matches I feel like could one up each other. I'm just more excited for that Mox Darby match.
That match might be the highlight of the night, or it could kill the pay-per-view.
I could
see what I did there. See what I did there?
Because it's attempted.
Mox is going to try to kill murder. Darby.
It's not actual murder.
Darby's going to do whatever because that's what Darby does. So, I think it's going to be good. I am excited for it. Like I've been pretty down on AEW from time to time. The matches are always good. It's the stories that suck. And hell, my guys, Kev, you can attest. The Outrunners even got on to Dynamite this week.
And you have the shirt.
They got some buzz, I think. They had a nice pop when they came out. I saw something this week that their merchandise has been outselling guys like Swerve and maybe Hangman. So it's like they've got this little organic buzz thing. I'm kind of where I was with Joe Hendry, right? Where maybe like a couple months ago where I was just like, I keep hearing about these, in this case, Joe Hendry. I keep hearing about them. Like, what's the deal? So that's where I'm at with the Outrunners. Like that was kind of the first time I really saw them. So I need to see more to get an opinion.
We met them on the cruise last year.
Okay, correct. They were on the cruise. Nice.
They were awesome.
Jay might have bought the shirt. I wasn't.
I knew who they were. I didn't know a lot about them, but they actually had one of their shirts for sale.
An 8-bit. They're like riding Sea-Doos.
Yeah, it's an 8-bit, like Mario Kart.
It was awesome.
So I bought it and I wore it, which normally I don't do, but I don't know why I just wore it. We ran into them and they were like, hey, let's get a picture. I was like, yeah, let's get a picture. And they don't do normal photos. They're always like posing and
right.
Gur face but yeah,
I like their nickname, the youngest men alive.
I mean, everything about them is so 80s.
Yeah,
they are Rock and Roll Express, Thrill Seekers, the Fantastics. They're everything rolled into one.
With attitudes, who knows?
Oh, so good, good.
I'm gonna keep my eye on them. I gotta keep an eye. We kind of touched in a roundabout way about Rampage, and you guys sold the picture that I sent you, but Roderick Strong on Rampage is fighting somebody named Beef.
Gnarls Garvin.
You know who that is?
From LA. He's going to be here competing in IWC Super Indy
Okay.
in a couple weeks. Yeah.
I was like,
Garvin.
It's like AEW's version of meat.
Right. I'm like, who's Beef?
And Beef also.
Beef.
We're going to talk about the PWI 500 later.
Yeah.
He made the PWI 500. I'm going to look up and see where he ended up at.
I'm going to guess 97 because he looks very lean.
97, like, ground chuck that's like 85-15 or whatever. You gotta get the lean stuff, the sirloin. Yeah, I just laughed at that. My text with the picture of that to you guys was, I can't believe they're not saving this one for a pay-per-view. #beef.
Beef. Number 271 in this year's OVW regular, picked up singles and tag wins in the promotion. Beat Pretty Boy Smooth and Emerge, dethroned Davey Vega as the AAW champ, occasionally teams with Calvin Tankman and superbly named Beef Tank, and rugged competitor style is reminiscent of Dick Murdoch. So
wow, okay.
So he's Al Snow's, one of Al Snow's finest.
Apparently, yeah. Nice. Gnarls Garvin. I like that name a little better than Beef, but hey, whatever, man.
That's all it takes is one little thing to get you over. Yeah, I don't know. Like I hear the name Beef and I'm like, that could have been like Otis's name. Like it's like a kind of a chubbier, bigger dude that you're just like, hey, Beef.
No, Beef is not chubby. Beef is muscle.
Okay.
Beef is muscle.
Okay.
Gnarls Garvin.
All right. Well, I'll see if I can remember to watch Beef on Rampage, and I'll give you a full report next week. Jay, you said the PWI 500 came out this week.
Yeah,
and that's Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and I get a little, I don't know if frustrated is the word, but they have their methodology, and I'll go over it. They've got 6 bullet points. Their rankings are from August of 23 to the end of July here of 24. The 6 things that they are judging on: win-loss record, championships won, quality of competition, major feuds, prominence within a wrestler's promotion or promotions, and overall wrestling ability. Guys, when we do the TWPs, it's just like, hey, who do you like? So I get a little like, God, you guys went so into it. But nevertheless, here are the top 10.
Yeah.
We'll go from 10 to 1. Number 10 is Mystico. Number 9, Gunther. Number 8, John Moxley. Number 7, MJF. Number 6, Damian Priest. Number 5 is Naito. Number 4, Seth Rollins. 3 is Will Ospreay. 2 is Swerve. And number 1 is Cody Rhodes. Have your thoughts on that top 10? Anybody up or down? Anything like that?
I would probably, the biggest move I would probably make is maybe Gunther towards, say, 5-ish, just for the fact where quality of competition, great. Title, he had it. Yeah, he had a loss. That shouldn't go against him because the competition was still so high. Promotion, he's been a top guy. That's the one that stood out for me. Cody being one, self-explanatory. I think Seth being up on there, great. I feel like Drew, he's done great things. Damian, well-deserved in there. MJF, I feel like MJF's kind of been like there, but not there.
He was out.
He was out for
that one. That was a
3 or 4 months of that time.
I feel like that was a surprising one because you could have easily put, let's throw XYZ in there. If he's there, throw CM Punk in there because he only wrestled 3 times. Like I just don't think MJF deserved to be in there. Mox is another one that's been kind of out for a little bit for a period of time. I don't think just name value. I see it, but Gunther I feel like deserved to be a lower number. That's my biggest standpoint on there. Otherwise, I feel like there's some guys I didn't necessarily know about, but I'd say some common hitters in there.
Jack?
The Dom Mysterio needs to be higher.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice,
you know what number he is, Jack?
69.
Which maybe they did that on purpose.
I think that's on purpose.
Is that a rib?
I think that's on purpose.
I said that same thing. I went, wait a minute. How is he at 69? What the hell? He gets more heat than any wrestler ever lived.
Logan Paul's 37, which I thought was interesting. Adam Copeland's 26. Eddie Kingston's 20. Danielson's 14. Drew's 13. Samoa Joe is 11. Sami Zayn had a big year, and he's 12. I thought he would be maybe a 10 spot. Yeah. But overall, look, I mean, I've talked to people who have been on this list, and I've talked to people that say that people that brag about this list are just looking for clout. So it is what it is. Cardona was 77, but he was out most of the year. Mm-hmm. Person that did not make the list that I'm very upset about, and that would be one Brody King.
He didn't that's puzzling.
That's so weird. Puzzling because Axel Tischer made it.
Right.
Jason Hotch made it.
Are you going Mims like 500 to 499?
The Tuck Man made it. But Brody King can't.
Yeah.
Now I'm not making fun of these people. These are just people. I don't know who they are. So
right.
Just looking here. I'm in the 300s now. Dustin
Tony
Rhodes.
Khan.
Dustin Rhodes, 393. Sam Holloway is a name you guys will all know Sam Holloway very soon. He's a Cleveland guy. Came in at 403. Coming in at 402 is Big Fudge.
About Lil Fudge.
He did not make the list.
Yeah, I don't think so. Joey Janela's 165. Hoodfoot, Kevin, a favorite of ours. Hoodfoot is 164.
No, he got dumped with
where's
salt.
Brody King? Does have the salt.
Yeah, I don't really get it. It's it is. I mean, it is what it is. They have everyone has their own criteria, just like we do.
Exactly.
So for the Twippies, I'm sure people are hearing it and they're like, "What are these idiots doing?" But PWI 500 available on newsstands now, if that's your thing.
Yeah,
my thing.
Yeah,
I like magazines.
The other category that I don't know if they released more, but the only one I did see was color commentary ranking, and I thought, well, this one's a little bit more arbitrary. It's not looking at win-loss records and promotions. I'm like, it's just who do we think we like? Okay, so for that it was number 10, Matt Menard, number 9, Veda Scott, number 8, Hugo Savinovich, number 7, Booker T, number 6, McAfee, 5 is Taz, 4 is Matthew Raywalt. I might not be saying it right, but of course
that's
on
the
Impact,
guy.
TNA.
He was in one of the Drama Kings, Vaudevillains. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I know who he is. Just not sure if I pronounced the last name right, so my apologies. Number 3 is Caprice Coleman. Number 2, Wade Barrett. Number 1 is Nigel McGuinness. And I thought this was a pretty fair top 10.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, there's one omission.
Oh, there is. Well, did they do anything over number 10, my friend?
I don't know. I don't have anything.
Come on.
No, I'm only.
Did you write a letter to PWI yet?
Yeah, I got Bill Apter on the phone. I'm only a year in, so I don't expect to be on this list. However, there is a play-by-play list, and I want to shout out Joe Dombrowski. Now, he is a guy he does MLW, but he's a Pittsburgh guy. He does a lot of the Pittsburgh Indies, and I've never met him, but like he's a good dude from all accounts that I've heard, and he, I believe, was number 8 in the play-by-play. I can't find it anywhere now, but so props to Joe and everyone who made the list. Maybe next year I'll make that list for
you. Just got Brody Kinged. You're in good company.
Yes.
You're in good company.
You're in good company.
You know, we had a show last Saturday and we had Swoggle, or it was 2 Saturdays ago. Cool dude. Great show. Doc and I and Tony Kincaid got to call the Renegade Rumble, and then Tony Kincaid got called into the Rumble, so it just left me and Doc to call Rumble, which is crazy because it's just like it is on TV, but we have a monitor in front of us, and we're supposed to call what we see. but there's so much going on. It's crazy. So I posted my commentary clips on my Twitter at that Jason Gray. If you want to check out my Renegade Rumble for RWA, Renegade Wrestling Alliance in West Newton, Pennsylvania.
Jason, you're like the weekly college football rankings under the after the top 25. It's the others receiving votes.
Yeah, maybe I got some votes. Yeah, others receiving votes.
I think that's fair.
Thanks.
One other guy who maybe he'll be on the list next year. Rumor, another show of Saturday night's main event may be coming back to NBC. I'm seeing maybe a quarterly special every 3 to 4 months. And I just saw this right before we recorded that the rumor is Jesse Ventura is going to come back to do color commentary. Come on. How dare you disrespect the legend?
How dare you?
Are you doing Karrion Kross? Does Jesse Ventura? Have you seen
that? Will Sasso?
Wait.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
Karrion Kross does Jesse Ventura. Okay, I'll look it up.
God. Can we somehow look this up?
No,
while doing
we can do it after the show.
Okay.
Last thing I need is
does it across from him? And if Chris was it Chris Van Fleet?
Chris Van Fleet surprised Jesse. He's interviewing Jesse, and he's like, I think he says have you heard about this Karrion Kross impersonation? And he's like, he's actually here. Come on out. And
who is Karrion Kross?
They go back and forth from the little clip that I saw.
I'm glad that guy Joe is not here.
Jesse's the first guy I can remember, him and Gorilla.
Yeah.
And
if Jesse wears a boa
or bandana, he's gonna have to.
Stop it.
Have you always been a hater of Jesse Ventura? What is this?
Jesse Ventura in 2024 makes no goddamn sense.
Well, I agree, but
we all bitch about how bad Jim Ross is. And Jim Ross has been in the industry. Jesse Ventura has been out of the industry for 40 years. 30 years.
I think on the interview when he was doing, I think he's this close from signing a Legends deal as well.
Well, this is obviously part of the thing. I mean, exactly. It's probably all done.
Probably part of it.
Jesse Ventura, that does nothing for me. Nothing for me, man.
I'm curious.
Put Sam Roberts on commentary as Saturday Night Live. Put Peter Rosenberg on commentary. Put Jackie Redmond. Put Kathy Kelly. Put the girl that looks like Joe's wife on its NXT. I can't think of her name right now.
Kelly Kincaid.
Yes, no. Put CM Punk on Saturday Night Live main event.
It's only a special program.
Put him on Weekend Update. It'll be just fine.
I love Weekend Update. That's the best part of SNL. SNL movie's coming out too.
Oh, a movie?
It's about it's about 90 minutes. The movie is about the 90 minutes before they go to air for the first time. Live.
Oh.
It's really awesome.
That's a cool concept.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. The guy that did the last couple Ghostbusters movies, Jason Reitman, it's his movie. I can't wait for this thing to come out. Cool. It's so good. I think
I'm going to go see Beetlejuice on Saturday. You guys see Beetle?
Oh, I saw the original.
Yeah.
You're going to go see Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Never seen either. Never seen it.
Michael Keaton's a Pittsburgh guy. Come on.
Hey, he's Batman 89. Of course.
Yeah.
Who that is.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice never crossed my something I want to see.
Well, just don't say its name 3 times.
I was a fan. I think it looks great. It's playing at our drive-in. We might go.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, that'll hopefully be my Saturday night. Friday night is SmackDown. We talked about the premiere on USA Network.
Saturday night is UFC at the Sphere.
It is.
Sphere.
Are you gonna miss it?
I think no, because Beetle, we're looking at a 5:15 show.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'd catch at least most of the UFC, I would think.
Yeah.
So USA SmackDown, yeah, we've got Carmelo versus Andrade Part 5 has been announced.
Gotta fill up 3 hours.
Never-ending story. Kevin Owens and a mystery partner versus Theory and Waller. Any thoughts on who that may be?
It's going to be Cody.
It's just Randy Orton. No, Cody's occupied.
Cody goes against Solo.
Yeah, so
yeah, he's double duty.
I think Cody and Solo is first match. I thought I read that today that they're starting SmackDown and it's commercial free.
It is.
Maybe John Cena.
Cena would be a good one. Randy
sense.
Orton would be a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe Sami Zayn, even though he's a Raw guy.
Any of those three.
I don't know.
I would have to imagine those three would be betting odds.
Let Kathy Kelly be the teammate.
Kathy Kelly.
What Jim Ross? Throw him. What about Jesse Ventura?
No, I do not want to be on a that team with Kevin Owens. He's not even American.
What city are they in?
Ventura impersonation ever. I feel like they're in like Oklahoma City,
Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, you went too far. Wait, no, never mind. No, that's the.
I was gonna say
the very
Patrick
first
Mahomes
SmackDown. The very first SmackDown was in Kansas City, Missouri. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. But yeah, that's the interesting part is that Cody and Solo steel cage opens the show, so that leads me to believe something even bigger.
No, I know who his partner is going to be. Goldberg.
Oh,
well, no, Goldberg's got to be the final segment.
I don't know.
We'll see. Well,
after Goldberg, if he's in the beginning, then who's next?
There it is. I've been waiting for it. Love it.
3 hours though, it's gonna be exciting. They're gonna try to make it a spectacle. They're gonna try to make it the biggest event in SmackDown history. We'll see.
And they're bringing
in Seattle, guys.
The fifth stage is coming back.
That was a rumor I saw too. So hell yeah.
SmackDown's getting fisted. Yeah.
That's what
like for a one-time offer. Like
I think it's going to be the thing. It's going to get fisted on USA.
So. They're going to be in Seattle.
Friday night fistings on SmackDown.
Oh my!
Seattle, SmackDown, Raw is in Portland, and then SmackDown at the home of the Kings, Sacramento, California, next Friday. So, little West Coast swing for the WWE guys.
Yeah.
All right, I think that'll do it for this week, fellas. Again, thank you to everybody supporting the show. Again, your interaction is key to what we do. Please leave a comment on our YouTube video. Leave a review if you listen to the audio pod. Again, building. That's our theme for 2024. Any feedback, tell us we suck. It's fine. Jason says it to Joe all the time.
Every time.
It's always welcome.
And I'm right.
YouTube.com/thatwrestlingpodcast. At that WrestlePod for social media and whatamaneuver.net for your merchandise. From all of us here at That Wrestling Podcast, enjoy wrestling. We'll talk to you next week.
I can't believe nobody mentioned my new glasses.
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow at That WrestlePod on social media.